Hi guys, and welcome to this week's 15 Minutes of Fitness. As you can see, I'm here in a beautiful sunny backdrop of Portugal, and we're going to follow on from last week's theme of stretching. Now last week we did a stretch which was what I said was the most effective stretch to help ease knee and back pain. This week we're going to talk about how effective stretches can be, and the fact that some stretches work for some people and some stretches work for others. So what I'm going to demonstrate today is I'm going to do a series of stretches that all stretch the same area. These are all going to be for your glutes, so your hips and your bum. What we're going to look at is 3 different positions, and now for one person you might find position 1 works well, but for another you might find another works well. So the idea is if you find a stretch doesn't really work for you and don't really feel anything, then forget about it. Don't use that stretch, but then try another one to see if that one works better. So let's work our way through these 3 different stretches. Now in terms of time and how long you hold the stretch for, that's the same for each. So to get the most effective stretch possible, you want to hold the stretch for a minimum of 30 seconds. If you want to really develop flexibility in that area, you want to hold it for up to a minute and sometimes even a little bit longer. But for today's purposes, we're just going to go through the positions and hold each one for 10-20 seconds, just really while I demonstrate them. So the first stretch we're going to do is a classic glute stretch where we lie on our back. So put a couple of towels down. If you're at home and it's uncomfortable, you can put a mat down. Otherwise, if you're doing this on the floor in your lounge, you should find the carpet's fine. So for this position, we lie on our backs. We lie with our knees bent, our feet flat on the floor. Now I'm going to take my left ankle and place it across my right knee. Now with my left hand, I grab the back of my left leg. And with my right hand, you can see I grab the back of my right leg. Now from there, all you do is you drop your head back and you pull the legs into your chest. So by pulling them in, I'll demonstrate my head up just whilst I'm talking, but you're pulling the legs in nice and tight. You should then find you get that really deep stretch around your glute. The knee is coming in towards the chest, and you pull with that left hand to pull the leg down to get a better stretch. Once you're in that position there, if you feel a good stretch, you can manipulate it a little bit. You can pull the knee across towards the opposite shoulder a little bit. We can even pull that knee down towards the same shoulder, so left knee to left shoulder. But the key there is you're trying to make sure you feel that stretch in and around that glute. You may feel it up towards the back of the hamstring a little bit as well, but predominantly we're trying to look at getting it into that hip. If you're very flexible, some people find they don't get the stretch at all, and you might find the knee comes right to the chest. So that's position 1, that's stretch 1, and if that one works for you, then perfect, just stick with that stretch. Obviously once you've done one leg, you then switch over right ankle to right knee, back of the left leg, back of the right leg, and you pull the legs in. Again, drop the head back on the floor so you're not straining your neck. And you pull the legs in to get that effective stretch. And once you get in that decent stretch, like I said, minimum of 30 seconds to really get the benefit and make sure the stretch feels like it's really giving. Now stretch 2, we're going to do in a more seated position. I'll do this more or less facing the camera. So this one here, I'm going to do this sat upright, but you might find you want to do this sat against the wall or against your sofa. So this one is a seated stretch. So we're going to start with both our legs straight, then we take our right leg over our left leg. Bring that foot in as close to you as you can get it. Place the foot on the floor if you can, if it reaches the floor, and then with both arms grab that knee and pull the knee into the chest. So you're pulling up towards your chest and in towards your body. And what again this should do is stretch around that hip. If you find you can't lie down comfortably and that isn't a very good stretch, sometimes just sitting upright is a little bit more easier to get into a better position. You can support yourself with the chair behind you, like I said, and then it works a little bit more comfortably. It also hits a slightly different area of the glute. Same thing, hold it for 30 seconds minimum. Once you've done one, change the other leg over. You might find one side's tighter than the other for lots of different reasons, like day-to-day activity. Place that left foot over. Again, you see I'm hugging my arms around my knee to get a really good pull, and then you pull the stretch in nice and tight. Nice simple stretch, really good for the glute. But again, if you do this one, you don't really feel it, and forget about it. Right, the last stretch, a stretch that a few of you may not have done before. This is what I find is the most effective stretch. Now this is a face down glute stretch, so it looks a little bit more complicated. So what we're going to do, we're going to start facing down like a press up. We lift ourselves up, and then from there we bring our right knee up towards our chest and in between our right hand and our left hand in the center. Now the foot slides across the way. When I do the other leg, you'll see it a little bit easier. And from there we're going to drop down. We're going to place our elbows on the floor, and then drop our head down, and then you're dropping your weight down. And with this stretch, what happens is you're using gravity to make the stretch more effective. So the weight now is stretching in towards this right glute. Now if you find this is okay, you drop your head down, you can relax your back foot down, and you can just drop your weight down onto your floor. Now if you're very, very tight, you might find you can't even get as far down as this, but over time, with gravity assisting and stretching day by day, you should find you can get lower and lower and lower. And then obviously the more you can get down, the more you can relax into it, and the more you can lengthen that stretch. Once you've done one, you literally push yourself up, lift yourself up and out, bring the opposite leg up. You see that foot is coming across my body, elbows drop back down again. From there, you pop back down into a nice deep position. Again, if you're up here to start with, that's fine, and then gradually lower yourself down, and then drop down, and then hold. Same thing, 30 seconds minimum. You can build that stretch up if you've got plenty of time. My usual tip with stretching is make sure you stretch when you're doing something else to make it easier to perform. So if you're sat in the evening time in front of the TV and you're just watching TV and you're doing nothing else anyway, you sit on the floor, you can have a stretch. It doesn't really affect what you're doing. You don't have to make time for it. You're just doing it alongside a normal day-to-day activity. Hope that helps. Now, like I said, remember, pick a stretch which works for you. If you find all three are effective and you enjoy doing the stretches, there's nothing wrong with doing all of them, but don't do a stretch where you don't really feel any stretch coming in the muscle, because really you're not going to get a huge benefit from it. Next time what we'll do is we'll look at a different muscle group and go through some different stretches, and that way then giving you some different options to work out which stretch works well for you. You guys have a good day. I'm going out in the sun. We'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.